Yay, we're live on the interweb. Very good. Very, very good. Oh, hello everyone out there on YouTube, on Twitch, which Ari just said hello on Twitch, on Rumble, on Kick, and even on Twitter. We are live streaming to all of that. And how are you, Ari, my friend? Okay, well, we got a bunch of air experience here, so we need to do something with that. Okay, let me open up a Coke here, even though it's early. Time for a Coke. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's make an episode since Ari hasn't answered yet. He may not be expecting me to answer just yet. Okay. And Toyjet is here. Very nice, my friend. Good to have you here. Hope you enjoy the show. See how well we do. The Norwegians say, oh, good. Glad all of Norway says hello. Yes, Norway. Looks like they're getting ready to defend their coastline or something. Wonder why. This is, peace breaking out everywhere. Just want a piece of Poland and a piece of Czechoslovakia and a piece of France. Maybe a piece of Norway. Maybe a very big piece. Maybe the whole pie. Okay, well, the two most important ones. Okay, Eric says hi. Okay, Eric's there as well. Well, very good. All right. It's the old. For a while, and I know schedules are, and it's partially my fault, most assuredly schedules are hard to coordinate and whatnot. We were doing, and I know Toyjet and Eric obviously know this, but those watching, few watching now, others watching later, we were holding movie nights, or at least night in Europe, sort of afternoon here in America. Because, well, the real because is a shared community is part, it needs to have a shared cultural reference, shared experiences, that's the real. And young people, because of multiple factors, but maybe as I sit here and think about it, the biggest factor is the complete number of choices we have now for entertainment is huge, and whether it's consuming like a movie or a video game or whatever, it just to fill your time, so it segments us into little compartments. Where back in the day, in my day when I was young, yeah, not that this was better, just this is the way it was. There's a difference there. I'm not saying this is better, but there were movie theaters, basically, and there was non-cable television. I mean, in theory it existed, but in practice, no, for most people. So, and there was a small number of channels on. So, what's on TV right now, and you show a good movie 3 or 4 times in a year, I mean, an older movie or something. Yeah, most everyone's going to catch it, and see it. But, so I was using some of my wisdom and experience to show really good, important, not necessarily important as historically important, but just really good, cool movies that most of the youngsters around here hadn't seen before. So I don't know if we'll get doing that again. I'd like to. I think they would like to. It's just I don't know if we're going to have a time that would all gel again or something, but because it is, you know, is it just one or two of us? Well, I mean, just one of us isn't worth it, but just two or three of us, is it really worth doing? I don't know, but it would be something. But there, you know, the joke I just said is from a movie called To Be or Not to Be. It was a Jack Benny movie made, I think, in 1941 in America. You guys don't even know who Jack Benny is, I know. You know, definitely one of the famous people one of the most famous people in America at the time. He was he movie star, yes, but he was mostly famous for this other thing called radio. Yeah, I know you guys don't know what that really is, but and then later in the, I guess, 70s or something, Mel Brooks remade the movie and starring him. It was an okay remake, but yeah, there was a joke song in there that I sort of referenced that if you're old like me and you know these things, you would sort of get it. Not that it was necessarily funny then, but you'd get it. All right. So yeah, miss doing the movie nights with you guys, but don't know if we're going to start that up again. Okay, so we're going to move some of these garrison units. It's one of the reasons I do believe you can, if you if you don't really want them, you can delete these. But I've sort of held on to them so that we can use them as fairly cheap. And I know there is the garrison mechanic in the game, which does some of the job that I'm used to using with you know, doing with these units. But even then, there still is, you know, an anti-invasion, if there's like partisan spawn events. And hello, Pickle. You're going to send your divisions in the Netherlands to France? Yes, we are. Some haven't gotten orders yet, but you can see many have the railway symbols. They're either coming down to this province or coming over towards Lille here. And in a way, this is going to be, I mean, you know, if we want to talk the details of the Schlieffen plan, no, but sort of the idea of the Schlieffen plan of keep pushing on the right and circling around in a more mobile fashion is what we're going to do. I'm going to leave that. I'm moving a couple of the garrison units into this region, and yeah, but it's going to take a little while for any of the allies to, you know, plan and institute an invasion. So we'll do that. Yeah, Toy, yeah, good. You say we, yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying we got to start it back up, because I'm not even sure I would be very reliable, but if there's enough interest, I would love to have it happen, and I would love to be part of it. So yeah, movie night. And it's also, I'm trying to probably, especially if you're on YouTube, but also you can scroll down on Twitch if you're watching this later, but I know a lot of people do watch this later on YouTube, even though we haven't started an episode, but I do see the stats. If you haven't, you guys can follow, or you know, there's a link to get to our Discord servers where all this happens at, our sort of hanging out, and everyone's invited to the Discord server, so you can do that. We are bringing forward 5 recently trained up divisions as well, Pickle, into here. So there's going to be a lot of troops showing up here, but we're going to try to spread them out. And sort of the important thing here is we can see here we've got effective supply now through here. Or, you know, this one point here can supply 40. There's 26, you know, and whatnot, division or battalions, or however this is, 60 there. So we've got some supply points out here in the west, that are connected via rail effectively. Some of these are still, that's 2 more days remaining, but and I don't know if we have a supply point in Lille or whatever, but we're getting these supply points secured up here, so I can send in units to do that. And areas acquired watermelon, very good. Ready to enjoy the war. Well, very good. So yeah, that is a concern you need to have. Now, I have been ignoring these requests to join the wars. Now, Kingdom of Italy has just popped this up, which will go dead in a little while, but this will go dead very fast here in another day. That I think I need to call to arms to join this war in Greece. Well, let's start making an episode, and I want to talk about this. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4's Black Ice. And hey, if it's just welcome here because it's your first time, hopefully I earn your hitting that subscription button. And of course, everyone, lick the like button. They tell me it tastes different for each video, so you only need to lick it once. And it see how the flavor, and it tastes good, they say. So, right. Well, I've got a problem here with the game. Or what's going on right now. Not so much the mod or whatever. I've been requested by Hungary, and I need to reply to this, to join their wars because Italy's asked them against Greece. Now, I don't have to do anything. It looks so far that the Italians, to some degree, and it looks like they may be getting ready to move some more units over to Albania. And this is the problem with a lot of them. Looks like they're moving that unit at the moment. The problem with that is, once I do that, they're probably, they are sort of prepared for here. They're probably going to enter the big European war. I was sort of hoping, like, winter, when it's not good to go into Norway or whatever, I could join Italy and then we could smash into the, North Africa. But it looks like I need to go into here, which brings them into a wider war. So we will accept that. And another thing I also need to do is we have lots of air experience. So, well, we've got those. Done. Do we, oh boy. They changed things around here. I just want to look. Air doctrine, we can boost our research with 41, so we'll go down to 140 days with 100 points. Okay, so let's I guess do that. Well, that uses up a bunch, which you sort of use or lose, and that. Hey, Sing! Well, I'm doing great. The real question is, how are you doing today? I hope very well. Okay, so the French aren't pushing so much here at the moment, but they might start again. So what I'm going to do is send you to there, you to there. Yeah. Okay, so we might be having Mediterranean problem. Oh no, we're just getting started here. You're not coming in late. Well, I can hear either news first. I don't know what matters. Whatever you're best to tell me first, I guess. Good or bad news. I hope the good news is regarding you personally, but as opposed to just general world situation or. Okay, so we pushed into here. Good. And Arno, yes, hello here, and hello John over on YouTube. It's worthy of a possible multiplayer, yes, and I was just thinking about that, at least in concept, the other day. Okay, so we just got in a large group here. So what we're going to do is we're going to send in a couple of infantry divisions to, well, no, maybe not you. You're not very good organized shape. Well, neither are you, but you go in, I guess. And I want to put this light division and Totenkopf in there. Hey Aiden, how you doing? You're getting any? No, I'm not getting any planning bonuses. I should do more of that. I know it's Greece joins allies. That's what I was waiting for. You add to that. You guys over well organized. You add your weight to there. Yeah, you're coming fast. Pull that side division. Yeah, you can swing out that way. First, good news. I can move without. Oh, very good. Well, hey, you know, and got a PS5. Well, good. Well, if you can move around without a wheelchair, that's great, Sing. You know, and I figure you're gonna eventually walk just fine. But yeah, I'm sure it's a lot harder than I imagine getting back from all of that. But good to hear. There's a trick you can... Yeah, you can explain it to me. I'm not exactly sure if I know the trick. And I don't know how much I should or shouldn't do of like that. Okay, we are... What is going on here? Oh, we have some subs that are probably returning home or something that are getting blasted. Okay, now the bad news. Let's move some more divisions. We don't need all of these up there. Okay, you come down to Lille. You come down this way. Yeah, you guys maybe get ready to break out into here. Would be useful. Okay, I think just this way. You joined us. I know they're facing only one division left, but no, we're not going to be able to pocket them. Well, come down to reinforce the front line here, getting ready to push soon. You join that and you start marching into there. Okay, that's our enemy. Yeah. Okay, well, we're getting more factories, I think captured, but not absolutely sure. Okay, well, look at our trade situation. No, trade. Okay, so we're doing positive on everything. We're getting, using 19 convoys, getting our rubber in from Thailand. Could get some from Hungary or whatever. If that becomes too much of a problem, oil we're going down with. So let's look here. Let's get all we can from Romania. Right now, okay. Food production. Well, let's look over at deficits. Okay, medium artillery, heavy artillery. We're way down on garrison equipment. We're way down on. You got lots of light tanks. We're slowly catching up here, but we're gonna we want to reorganize a lot of divisions. We're way down on aircraft. We've been having a lot of losses there. But with rubber being short, I don't know that I want to increase that. So we're going to have more garrison needs. So let's go with garrison equipment. Get that going. What has, okay, here's the trick demonstration. Make a big difference in your campaign. Okay. You think, is Italy now at war with, yes, everybody. Which in a way helps me, and in a way it hurts me. You know, I do think we're going to take down France anyways. Okay. We're waiting for, I mean, I have been putting piecemeal some of the forces. Oh, okay, here. They just made it into here. Now. I don't know, move those guys on the rails. Come on. What are you talking about? Okay. I know I said it's going to take a little while for them to invade me, and I do mean it, but we'll leave a few there. Move this one here. You guys can march. Okay, let's see. It's raining here really hard. The roads are flooded, and I'm stuck in my car and turned off, but no need to worry. Okay, rescue teams. Oh, wow, that is a bit harsh. I hope you are not in the middle of a flood zone. Oh boy, I've seen video and such of monsoons in that part of the world, and it can be pretty bad thing. So you be safe. You be safe. Oh boy. Well, I don't know that he wants to go swimming right now. I hope everything's good. Oh boy. Okay, they pushed in. All right, good. You push forward too. Nope, nope. They're retreating now, but let's. Okay, you guys just got into alone. So you go in and you go back in. Okay, so we fund continental oil. Okay, good. Continental oil. Let's remind myself of that one here. Where were we? What is it? Synthetic rubber. Oh boy. I just like to, I'm trying to learn these, you know, to know them and not just haphazardly move around. What was that? Over here for Romania thing, I think maybe. Maybe not. Oh yes, it was right here. Okay. So offers to buy half of Astro. Okay, develop their industry. They get an assembly plant, which will help them, which will help us. Military training. I invest in Romanian industry, which we do want to do these things, but yeah, we wanted to get that. Operation free. Pressure Yugoslavia. We cancel manually. Yeah, we got to take down France. German-Soviet commercial agreement. $35 days. Yeah, no, we don't want you to get flooded with cars. Hello, with your car. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just a little worried about singing in the rain. I do hope he's stopped in a safe location and just waiting for people to come and deal with it. Really do hope so. Okay. I'm very good. You know how to swim. Yeah, you can probably swim out of it, but okay, synthetic rubber refineries. That would help our rubber problem. Yeah, like I say, I really wish they would just... I mean, this is a drastic thing, but to the best of my knowledge, Germany takes over Skoda and takes over CKD in a timely fashion, you know, not like years later. And they do a lot of these things, and I don't know that I've, like, done some specific thing way out of expected order. You know, I haven't done this, which they did, but, you know, maybe you don't do everything. So I really wish they would just start out by cutting all, you know, just because it would be easier to go in the modding field, because I've done it a long time ago, and just like cut all the days in half, and then go and look. Oh well, maybe that's too much, and well, what group of them, not necessarily all of them, do we want to add back more days to do? You know, what really does matter to a national focus? Because as some of the people have said, and I forget exactly who. Sorry, guys. A lot of these things really should just be, aren't really national focus. They're decisions to do. And, you know, which one do you want to do? Befriend Japan, befriend China? Is that really a national focus as opposed to something? But I get the roadmap idea. I get all that. Okay. Let's come over here. We're going to do rubber. I don't know if that's the best one at this moment, but I want more rubber. And that'll get us 2 more refineries and some research bonus and synthetic resources. Okay, what's the German? Okay, yeah, well, and that's worthy to look at. I'll get to some of the other chat here in just a moment. Okay. Everyone hears about the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact. And then there was a major addendum to that comes up with this borders. Because this is basically where the Germans and Soviets meet. They definitely hold a parade in this city of Brest-Litovsk, however you want to say it today. But, I mean, there are various things there. This bit here, Germany had pressed into, and, I mean, they may have also pressed a bit more in some other zones, or whatever. But this is, Germany gets into here. Well, this river here to about here, in the maps, because it doesn't keep going. And draw it sort of straight down from somewhere along in here, was going, so this whole section in here, and I don't know how accurate, because they're drawing on their sort of provincial borders, how accurate this is. I think it's a little more straighter here. But this area was supposed to be part of the Soviet zone, and I believe this was to be part of the Soviet zone, I believe. But this was going to be part of the German zone. Now, starting in 1939, I think, and I've learned this researching my mod for Black Ice and Hearts of Iron 3, Third Reich Events it calls, and I just forget some of the details, sorry guys. In 1939, I believe after the, well, I don't know if it was after the start of the invasion of Poland or after, but there is a big move to resettle Germans from the Baltic states into Germany, and definitely some of it is going, I definitely know, into captured the territory that's very quickly reorganized back into, considered into Germany here. But only from Estonia and Latvia, not Lithuania. This part happens in two phases. The first phase is when the Baltic states are still independent. The second phase happens when after the Soviet occupation in 1940. So, because the Germans know the Soviet occupation is coming, but they don't tell the Baltic. And the guys that are managing the system don't know that it's coming. It's more, secret high level stuff. But they're doing this, and so the first batch really get compensated for their closing of their businesses, or whether it's a farm, a shop, or whatever, selling up their homes. The second batch after the Soviets, you just get to get out with whatever you carry. So they definitely don't do that for Lithuania in the first phase, because this is why I think some of this might be redrawn. In the second phase, after the Soviets get in, I think they may get German, quote-unquote, German ethnic refugees from Lithuania at that point. And a lot of them are settled in this part of Poland. So this is sort of a trade-off. So those are going on with that. Now, while all that's going on, there is also commercial agreements. This is the German-Soviet credit system here, and Germans trade country costs minus 10%. So you get, for when you're buying oil and whatever, you're getting it at a better deal. And here looks like the same type of thing, but a second one, the commercial agreement. To the best of my knowledge, and God, is so much I don't know. First time getting rescued, I don't know what to say. Thank you would probably be very good. Say thank you to all of the, I'm guessing, men that come to rescue you. Thank them for doing, even if it's just their job, thank them for doing their job. That's what you say. You say thank you to the people that are rescuing you. Saying yes. Take SS Klingfurt for PP since you are low on it. Yeah, that we can probably, there's a lot of stuff here. We've got, again, I don't think he should be dropping stability by 6%. I don't think the SS were doing that. I think they were stabilizing the situation. Okay. I don't think Soviet rubles or Reichsmarks of the current regime are of use to either of these nations for these commercial agreements. But what was useful for the Soviet Union was Well, a heavy cruiser, I forget, I think it's of the Hipper class, that is partially completed. It's floating. It has, I think, one or two of its main turrets in. And they also send up, I think, gun barrels or whatever that never get installed. The Soviets never complete it, but gets sent up, towed up to here to be completed. So that's a big ship. The Germans set up a manufacturing plant to make motorcycles, and I forget whether it's the Zundap, or I think it's the Zundap, or maybe it's the BMW motorcycle sidecar system. So most all those, and you don't see huge numbers of them, but you do see photos with Soviets running around with motorcycles and sidecars. Well, that's made in a factory that's set up by Germany at this time period. And the Soviet anti-tank gun, I forget its name, is a licensed, and if you will, copy that the Germans helped set up in the Soviet Union for that. That's basically a Pak 36. The only thing that's changed is its up gun, because the Soviet sort of standard was a 45 millimeter gun. So it's up gun from the 37 to a 45 millimeter gun. But otherwise, and I'm not saying it's like parts compatible, like you can take a screw out of one and put it in the other, but it's basically the same gun. I know the Germans also, again, I think at this sort of time, send in the largest steel rolling mill, or machine, or machines, I don't know, maybe there's a couple of them, I don't know, that the Soviets have at that time. They also get some more large ones after the war, when they take stuff from Germany, as reparations. I don't know that it's stealing. It's, Germans did a lot of damage to them, but it's the largest steel rolling, is larger than anything the Soviets had, larger than anything the Soviets could probably build at the time. I think the Germans let it happen because they think it's going to be used to build ships, and they don't care if the Soviet Union tries to build ships. But my understanding, or from what I've read, and it may be wrong, it's what allows them to make the KV tanks, the heavier armored tanks. Without it, the Soviets would not have been able to make their heavier armored tanks at that time. And I don't know how far away they were from being able to build one themselves, but it was. So Germany really at this time is helping Soviet industry, and there's trainloads after trainloads of tankers coming in with oil. There's trainloads after trainloads of grain coming into the Reich during this time. So there's a huge flood of resources, and I know those two things specifically, and I'm presuming other basic resources coming out of the Soviet Union. So there's a commercial agreement set up. You give us this, we give you that, kind of thing. Yeah, I thank them and I invite them. Oh, well, very good. Yes, that's also, yes, you have that dinner with us. They say they will sure come. Well, very good. Very good. That's very good. So yes, very good. So that's sort of, and then in the game terms, what it does is when you get oil, or something, you hopefully getting it at a little better deal than you might. We're just going to leave it at where we're at. There, I know I could order more, but trying to get. Okay, well, because we sort of expanded, let's see if we can expand this a little more. Okay, well, that's more efficient because I have been 21. Now we'll be at 24 for 3 factories. So we'll fully utilize those. What are those goals next? Oh, here. Those I clicked on, and I can add in here, like research speed, or click over here, and I could do that for a couple of these things here. Like, I don't know, factories, how many factories we have, if I want to add other information that I want to keep up on the top. Yes, well, very good. Very good, Singh. Glad you're going to be all right. I live in a fairly dry spot, but we have earthquakes here as our sort of special fun times. Okay, let's see. England drops the mask ever since the British conquest of Egypt. People, okay, yes, they've taken over England. Romania agrees. Our negotiations return. Oh, agrees to cooperate. Return empty with smiles and forms. Signature of the Romanian government. Yeses. Okay, so, what is? Looks like we're getting all the oil, and they've just given it, because it had been, what, 48, I believe? I think we're just getting half straight up now without having to trade. Very, very good. Oh, well, good. Glad your brother's able to pick you up. Very good there, Singh. Okay, you guys. You come this way. You come this way. Add a little more weight to the outside, but we're also pushing in. Here, keep pushing for both flanks. Need to cancel the trade agreement with Romania or it costs. Oh, do we get it all? Let's try. Oh, so we get it all if we cancel the. Okay, that's very good. Without ICs, very good. Now let's look at our construction ICs. Okay, a lot of them are doing repairs to railroads and stuff. Cool, but they'll repair anyways on their own. Though slower. Oh, we got our last two rubber, so we probably have. Well, no, we don't have any extra rubber. Okay. I thought we were last doing rubber, but I don't remember. Let's do a few more military ICs now. Where do we want to stick them? We can stick one there, and we can stick one there. Get going a bit better. Thank you, folk. No, we're getting you guys coming down to there, so you guys come to here. You push to there, you push here, you come to there. Okay, I know we're on the outskirts of Paris, and taking Paris would be nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with that, and that division there, some infantry divisions. I did not want the armor to be hitting on its own, so let's send Rommel in there now. These guys are here, good. We're getting more reinforcements coming up. All of you guys are all going to push in here, because we don't want to delay our advance. Okay, we just got across the river, so you guys push in. Crossed here, and so do you. Where's my air? Well, hello, said Seth. Our air is not doing terribly well, as you can see here, and we're back here. I'm reluctant to, when we've lost a lot of air. I'm reluctant to continue losing more, so we should probably even stop some of this. So, Now let's just select all of these. No, I keep wanting to do that. Let's hold these because we no longer need to do any that up in the Benelux. So you can all go home. Westfalen here. We don't need anything over at Belgium, so as you can see, we're pretty bad. So hold air wings. I think we're just gonna YOLO it and fight under enemy air superiority. And hello, Seth, how you doing? I didn't say that when we first. Okay. Do we have proper AA divisions? No, we do not have anything that would be considered an AA division. You come up that way. Okay. I do have concerns with this division on how, or I just saw a division there, with this mod on how well it sort of does historical production or not. I think it overbuilds for challenging you with some of the nations. Well, good, you're home. That must feel a lot better than being trapped in a car that's, or in a car that's sort of trapped in a location that isn't maybe the best. So yeah, that's good. Okay, these guys are coming to the front here very soon. Okay, these guys have made it here. I'm gonna wait until all of these guys are at this front here. And so we're not having to cross the river. Okay, well, you guys and you guys back there, yeah. Get them from two provinces. Push in. Okay, you're crossed. They've stopped counterattacking. Let's send some infantry divisions to. Oh, awesome. I want to get these all sort of coordinated in. There we go. And we're going to do. We're going to add one more division here. This is mostly just to pin these two divisions to keep them from assisting. The other ones. Yeah, for research, you know, it's partially, and it, you know, somebody posted, I forget who, again, I know you, some of you guys I remember, but it's remember who posting what, but somebody I don't think I recognize, posted a really nice long post, and I skimmed through it on the why I'm leaving World Ablaze mod, and he had some good points, and one of them was, in essence, I don't know what I'm doing with World Ablaze mod, and it's a really challenging thing, mod. And he's absolutely right. I had hoped a few more people who were experienced with World Ablaze, not necessarily the devs, I mean, if they had the time, but just some of the players, would show up in the live chat and help me walk through what to produce as in factories, what to produce as in equipment, what to do as national focuses and when, because I knew it was key. You know, if there's a magical path, I really would have liked to know what that magical path was. And folk, I do remember what some of you guys did it. You know what some of you guys do. Folk did a really nice, and I used it as a general guide, though not following it specifically. and I think the link is in our Discord server somewhere, up publicly, to and a good sort of national focus plan for black ice that he did. But even then, there's still choices to be made and whatnot. So, and you know, and he says, well, you know, and World of Blaze says it's an sort of mod for experts. And yeah, I get all that. But I had played a few versions of World of Blaze by the time I made that video. And not just the playthrough that, the multiplayer playthrough that we did. And if there is only in essence, one path for Germany, to be able to, you got to hit the right national focuses in the right order, and you got to build, the right number of factories, but you can't oversupply, can't import on oil, because if you do that, you or any other over import, but oil is sort of the big one. We've lost a few ships, it looks like. If you're over import, you're using up your civilian factories that you should better be used for something else. And if there is this sort of magical formula supposedly to be able to make Germany to effectively invade the Soviet Union, fine. Well, either one, someone should get out and freaking write it up in detail, or two, someone should make a video. I would have been happy to make that video had someone held my hand through it. I wasn't going to repeatedly play until, start over again and make the video, keep going until I finally get it out, or spend 2 weeks of, 8 hours a day on my own time, just playing it, learning it, becoming an expert, and then to show it off. Yeah, that'd be great, but come on, guys, how much effort do I put into this, any sort of channel? And when what should be easy, Barbarossa, and we'll see how this is, because this is why Raids quit Black Ice before, and no one's confirmed or denied what it's going to be, but a 41, and this is what I'm probably going to have to do, a 41 Barbarossa, even though I want to be down in the Mediterranean. A 41 Barbarossa should be easy up until, right about here as the invasion depth. If you're giving me, penalties, whether to me or penalty or buffs or both to the Soviets that are so heavy that make it hard to do. They were crumbling, people. They were panzer or armored units were being destroyed, mostly because they didn't have radios and they were told to hold the defensive line and other crap like that. But anyway, even the vehicles are substandard and units don't work as well, and tactics were nowhere near, and their command structure was destroyed, and what was left was petrified, and they were in the middle of a restructure after the failure of the Winter War. And all of those things come together and go, yeah, it should be easy. And now eventually, just whether it's organization or equipment loss, or now with the new supply system, supply is getting to be the problem without upgrading the railroads and whatnot, and repairing them and getting them to go. So if they're going to throw in a bunch of mals for me, then, and I want to know this before I take the time to learn and this is sort of not the game, we could say is, Hearts of Iron 4, but this is a, total overhaul. It's still World War II, but this is a total overhaul mod. To learn this mod, if they're going to throw in a bunch of mals or buffs like I talked about, then why the fuck am I playing this? Well, to be a challenging game. No, I want a historical game. I want, not that things have to be right, but I want the Soviet Union to make the Soviet Union's decisions. Now, if I'm going to be playing a human opponent, modern human opponent, Okay, now they, within the parameters, within what is hopefully a good Soviet, I may have opened this up, but I haven't really looked at all of this to learn and know this. But what would be a good national focus tree that's all reasonable, and a human player could decide to not shoot himself in the foot, maybe, or something like that. I'm not sure that you got to, and I haven't looked. I don't know if I would consider this to be great, good, or terrible. I don't know. There's a lot of shit here, so somebody's done a bunch of work, and it doesn't really matter. You guys can, I'm not going to zoom in and focus on it. You guys can download the mod and just open it up and look at it. But, so if I'm playing against the human, then I'm playing against the human who's making choices within the realms of, I presume, possibility. I hope these don't have, because they all seem to have, like I see pictures of Stalin around. Don't have return to Tsar or something like that, some crazy crap like that. I'll get to the chats, guys, don't worry. Hey, Tinky. But if these are all reasonable possibilities, with given Stalinism and whatever, okay, then I'm playing against a human person who can make, like I am doing for Germany, can make, reverse engineered decisions, because we know sort of what's happening in history. So you were starting in 1936. So we're building up Germany for a 1939/40 war. So yeah, within those parameters, well then we're playing as, so either we're playing as the Soviet Union, so we get to make it there, or if we're playing a multiplayer game, the human player can make other rational decisions. I'm happy with that. But I want Britain to make basically Britain's decisions, then adjusted for the realities on the ground. If I defeat France or if I don't defeat France, things will happen a bit differently. Do we go after to Norway to protect our convoys, so that we can put air units here and deal with shipping along the coast? And of course, so far Britain has not. This was our submarines coming home, and looked like one made it, or one died, and the other 7 made it back to port or whatever. But I wanted to make reasonably historically based decisions, again adjusted by that. I don't want a super challenge mod. Not that those shouldn't exist, it's just not what I'm looking for. Now, if we play this through, and I was asked earlier on, and I will get to the chat here just a minute, people. People say they like my rants. That if this overall seems good to me, then I want to learn it in detail. Okay, then I'm willing to put the time in it. And right now, and as I'm building this series, is a look at Black Ice's, our Hearts of Iron 4's Black Ice, which is different than the Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice. Different team, different mod, same name. I could have done all this, yes, I know. And some of the people would want it, off camera beforehand, faster, and not just playing it on Saturdays with you guys. But whether I did it live or did it on my own, either way, we'd be presenting it about this speed anyways. So, and I want to evaluate it, like I've been talking about. I think because of all the national focuses, and maybe for all the nations, just cut all the days in half, and then, after play testing it, see the ones that you want to increase the time on it. And if you go, oh, well, then you get a bunch of stuff early. Well, then go into certain ones and go, you can only do this one after conditions, maybe just the date, or maybe it's like after you've occupied Denmark or whatever, depending on what it might be. So that, some condition, well, this condition will only happen after occupation of Denmark. Well, okay, put, control of certain province or whatever, So, and you can do all that for the national focus. So you can, keep someone, even if you cut the time in half, rushing to some point that you shouldn't get to too early. You can just put hard dates in some places. So, you know, it's like that. So this is you're taking the journey with me instead of me being the expert on it. Now, if this turns out to be a worthy mod, and so far it's doing pretty good, I want to go wrestle with them, like I say, over a few issues. But and if they're willing to concede to me on some of these issues a little bit more, I hope they are. Because I think I have. It's not just me as some sort of important person or anything. No, I don't look at that. But it's me as a fairly well-informed person, and I know they are too. But I'm just surprised that they, you know, I don't know. Do they really mean me not to be doing rubber research now, and really would rather have me doing the Czech stuff that happened in, like, both of these things happened back in early 39, as far as I know. You know, now, like, Nibelungen Work Tank Factory. Yeah, see, here we go. After September 1st, 1941. Yeah. So when you have something like this, just, you know, to keep me from, you know, power moving to something, great. I'm happy with that. But I have not been able to do, you know, to do what I think is, because some of these things are like flak defense areas. To get to the, I forget what Luftflak zone this was, but Rhineland, Saarland, Mosselland was a Luftflak zone that was very heavily developed. I'm not saying they didn't add more to it as the war went on, especially, you know, once America is showing up with Britain doing day and night bombings, and, you know, this is generically sort of the Ruhr, this area here, that they, and they also, of course, came up here and added more here. But this area here was heavily developed before the war with France, and as part of developing, as literally as part of the West Wall program. It was, you know, they're building the physical wall, but, you know, it's not a wall, it's a series of fortifications. Some of them are, you know, the sort of jack-like anti-tank traps. Some of them are the, you know, the dragon's teeth, the concrete pillars stop tanks, bunch of barbed wire, you know, spread out over huge fields of it, and bunker systems. You know, that's what the West Wall is, but it's also a Luftflak zone in the rear, and all, you know, some of these other areas here that was built at that same time. Okay, so I know that as a historical fact. Well, to get this done before, and even there's some conditions that are now not showing because we've already met them, but can get this done, I've got to get all the way down here prior to 1939. So you know, before the war, you know, well, before the end of 1939, I've got to get to here to get this built. Or I have to spend my factory time, instead of building my civilian factory time, instead of building factories, and I will get to the chat, don't worry, guys. I got to spend my time, you know, either building, you know, synthetic factory, you know, oil, or building military factories, or I've got to build flak tower, or, you know, flak defenses, you know, and a lot of these things, you know, so I've got to dig my way down to here before the start of the war, and do Luftwaffe stuff, and do some naval stuff, because they did not really do. Well, it depends on. Plan Z was never like fully implemented. I mean, it was a goal. They were building some ships that would fit into it. I don't know exactly what this means, what they think this means. You know, meaning this is just the start of Plan Z, that hey, we're gonna do some of this stuff, you know, here, or you know, or is it meant to be pick one or the other U-boat? But we haven't even been able to get down here, and we haven't done Panzer stuff, you know, some of the basic tank stuff, Hare doctrines and tactics. So, and Luftwaffe, you know, so there's no way. Oh, and They've already picked one of these things. So why the hell do you need 21 days or 28 days to befriend either one you're already befriended with, and just, resubmit relations, or switch to the other side? This is my, not that otherwise I don't, right now don't have a problem with these other than the time that it takes, and get to the historical Vienna Awards and other things at more or less the historical date. And some of these are just bypassed that are down here because we're now at war. And so, yeah, I get, this helps with various things, yes. Political reach or political power. I don't know that this is, I've already got that, yeah. But, so, we could do this, expand, So, yeah, that's my problem with this. Is that there. And so we're going on this journey together. With this mod. And if this mod turns out to be either something that's reasonable for me to play, something that I'm willing to either put the effort in to make a sub mod that somehow loads in and does things that I like it better. But I don't really want to just do it for Germany. But I don't know what it should be for the Soviets, because I haven't studied the Soviets. I don't know what it should be for France or some of these others. So I would just, in so many of these cases, especially ones with these big things, just like cut the days in half, throw in historical date limitations where needed. But yeah, I know I'm in that rut because I'm there. So we're going on this. But if this turns out good, and if we can, because I know there's some other big players that have played Black Ice, and I know there's smart people doing this, but if we can get some of this stuff worked out, then it's going to be worth my time. And I would really like to have and not that I won't, and I will try other mods, go, I don't know, if look at Total War mod or whatever again. I'm willing to look at other mods too. But to really have a specific mod that's sort of a home, if you will, to learn, and then I can come back, play on my own time. As well as, maybe like ask if we do this as a multiplayer, either as a cooperative game, go back and do another Ministers game, or do a competitive game, if it's worth, and if I know it well enough, and especially if it's a co-op game, I can guide some of the other players through some of the stuff and know what we need to do. I'm very willing to learn it and put in my time, but this is the let's learn this time frame. So yeah, that, and so I get the World Ablaze just isn't for me, and it really isn't, because I'm looking for a historical, simulation is an overstatement, but a historically plausible situation game. And yes, I know the combat AI is a problem, so, and now if you can just make smarter AI, so that, again, if you can make an AI that has, when you look at the enemy, oh, hey, there's mountains. Oh, happens to have a mountain division in it. Well, that's very good. And there's not another mountain division sitting out in the plain somewhere, and there isn't another mountain over here. The area, oh, well, they put the cavalry in the mountains. Yeah, that ain't the best, and not just as an emergency. I mean, as like a planned, while having a mountain division sticking out in the plains, so no one's able to, either the modders aren't able to get in and touch the things, which I think is the case for the modders, and the developers aren't able to do this. I get the AI ain't bad, but I don't think I've ever complained about a smarter AI in any of the Hearts of Iron games if they can make it smarter. It's more giving buffs to do that. So let's go through this. Okay. Lots of stuff been said. Okay. Oh, wow. Lots of stuff. I know. I can get down and focus on it. Okay. Was that you, Seth, that wrote this stuff? Okay. And I thought, oh, you did. Okay, Seth, you did it. Yes. And I do thank you for the very long post, and to see this becomes another World War I or not. Okay. Oh, you mean the invasion of France? Yes. You did that. Yeah, and I was. Yes, we have Discord. I think if you scroll down on the um on the live stream there, I think there's a link to the Discord, or look around or whatever. We'll get you it, or you can maybe look over on Twitch or something if somebody already hasn't dropped a link. You know, if Arno wants to, oh, hello, Arno, over on Kick and Rumble. Thank you. If Arno or somebody wants to drop a link to, an invite to the Discord, I don't know, maybe they already have. If you haven't already, that would be fine for Seth. Yeah, and I just sort of quickly skimmed it, not reading every detail, but I wanted to see what you had to say, basically. And I know I'm not saying you're wrong, and I was trying to learn this stuff. And like I say, if somebody given me a good roadmap, I would have followed it. And it shouldn't be a mysterious roadmap and whatnot. So yeah, and I really appreciate it. And I'm happy to have people criticizing me, and not everything is for me. And whatever. Did you hear the news that India launched the moon rocket? It was successful. Oh, well, very good. No, I hadn't heard about that. That's cool. I wrote you on the video of World Ablaze, Black Ice. I thought he was referring to that. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Yes, that's. There were some comments. Yes, good. Well, very good. Well, I think we need more than just the U.S. and Russia's crumbling. So Russia's space program is, I'm sure, crumbling. We need more than just the U.S. doing proper space. I know there's a bunch of countries that put low orbit rockets up to put satellites up, like China and others. But more and more nations need to get proper space development programs. So. Yes. Yes, Singh is in India, if that's who you're referring to. I'm not going to dox him any more than that, but yes, you need to build skills for world abilities. Everything needs to work together, calculated historically. Things were not easy. Yeah, I have some problems with that, with what some of the historical stuff too. But I have problems with everything because I'm well informed and opinionated. Doesn't mean I'm correctly informed or my opinions are correct, but of course I think they are, but doesn't mean that that's the actual truth. Usually you play against humans, their custom rules, not, joining. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we set a few of those up too. Normally, yes. Good evening, if I didn't say earlier, Tinky. Yeah, and I know you've watched at least some of the multiplayer stuff. Yeah, normally mostly it's how nations join the wars and get involved in the wars. Do we have the custom rules? Once you're in, normally you can do whatever is practical. I mean, the buffs there make it. Yeah, so yeah, you're right, Ari. The buffs are super bad once you're going into the Soviet Union. Right, to replicate historical success, you need to have production and recruitment policies which are at least as good as historical ones, which means the brain work of thousands of talented men. Yes. Yeah. Okay. You probably should not be doing synthetics rubber now. Historical AI schedule that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. 42. You're supposed to use stockpile. Yeah, as in history, but we can't stockpile as much as I think you should be able to. Hello, American monarchist, or otherwise known as Ari over on YouTube. In provinces, even the AI in some of the cheapest buildings in the game. Yeah, I know, but I want to do that. Gives you events, 73. Okay. PP for SS Klagenfurt. Then join. Okay. Yes, focus trees. Same soldiers, ones above, and that's a good bomb enemy without. Never got before. Yeah, okay, Arno's done the gamers Discord very much. Very good. Thank you, Arno. So everyone can get it if you are interested, and that is where we hang out. play multiplayer games. Last night I saw Werewolf Man and Niagara were playing, I think it was EU4. I didn't pop in and say hi or anything. I just saw that they were playing it. Multiplayer to get, you know, I don't know if cooperatively or against each other or something. So you can find opponents or fellow players of various games over there on our Discord. So everybody like watching later, if you know, and there's various ways to find the links to it. Ask, I'll post them, you know, later on if this is the, you know, posted as the, you know, posted videos and not as part of the live stream. We'll get you there too, so you can hang out with us. And there's voice chats and there's silly memes and other stuff. So, but we're going to end this episode, not the live stream, but this episode now. I want to thank you all for making it this far. Really do appreciate everyone. See you next time for more, yes, even more Hearts of Iron. Okay, good. Let's make a save and we will continue and make more episodes. And I really do like my global audience. I think you guys are great and I'm glad that Singh is here from India, and we'll get other people coming from other parts of the world. You know, I am as I know I've said before, a very strong advocate for quote unquote the West, but I am fascinated by other parts of the world and how they view the world and whatnot. So I always, you know, I'm not that everything's perfect in the West, God no. Not even suggesting that, but I always sort of talk up the West, but that doesn't mean I don't like or appreciate other parts. So the slap on the country, ones who told India is wasting money, can't do anything, and laughed in the failures of, especially Pakistan. Well, of course, Pakistan's going to, and yeah, I know we'll may have later today, or I don't know, sometimes Muhib, who's from Pakistan here too. We have people, and I know the conflict between your two countries. I know of it at least. And though I both hope you guys can have fun watching the channel. But yeah, I know why Pakistan and India will actually end up shooting at each other once in a while, but other times just, I'm not talking about terrorist incidents, I'm talking national wars, or other times just, propaganda wise go after each other. But yeah, no, India is an interesting case of nations. It really is. It's interesting. And from the American perspective, and I know Singh knows this, but just everybody who's watching, it's one of the places that America knows the least for how developed it is, and how big in size and whatnot. I'm not talking about some obscure African country, even with like Nigeria is, I think there's like 88 million people in Nigeria. I know there's many more in India, but it's a rather large country and a rather large populace, but it's still sort of lost out somewhere. It's not very well developed. Yeah, Lagos, I hear, is the capital, is huge traffic jams and whatnot. But yeah, it's not like that. But India is not that, people. But there are lots of primitive places, my understanding is, in India, but there's also lots of developed places, but it's where we know the least about. Now, I know the British know more because they're more, Britain's prime minister, I believe is definitely descended of this India, whether it would be I don't know whether he is Muslim in background or Hindu in background or what part of the greater Indian subcontinent he's from. But yeah, the British prime minister is of Indian descent. So yeah, in cricket matches. Yeah, we don't understand cricket here in America. I've never been to a cricket match, but I have watched cricket on TV in Britain, and I literally could not understand the rules. And there was an announcer talking about it, and I understood that somebody pitched a ball and somebody swing it with a flattened bat, and then then whether they hit it or whatever or not or something and ran, I, I'm sorry, I don't have that understanding of how cricket works. Yeah, so that is, what does call to arms request? Oh, well, that's gone away because I think we were actually at with that. So yeah, so there's things we don't understand about India for sure. For sure. Okay, we pushed all the way down into here, and they are pushing in against us. Looks like they might win, so what we're going to do is send in this, not so much as reinforcements to that battle, partially, because we're also already doing some of that, but more forces to win that battle and then quickly push out and around there. So let's start making another episode here. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron Forged Black Ice. And I know I've been ranting about this a lot in the other episodes, but let's try to have some fun here and see what we can do here. We are, so far, and was concerned, we are not apparently starting into a World War I stalemate. We are continuing to, yeah, we push in, a few units get in a little quicker than maybe they, you know, alone get pushed back out. Yeah, I also don't understand cricket, and that's also you don't like it. Okay, yeah, I know it's more understood in India than here. But it's not that I hate it, I just don't understand it. I really don't understand cricket. Try to. Okay, so we've won this counterattack, or either they were falling back. We're going to push up here, and we're going to push across the river here immediately, and we're going to hit with the infantry division there, mostly to stop that guy from moving north. Going that push there. Now we are sort of kind of doing a bit of a sleeping in that we are, you know, mentioning, is this World War I? No, it is not. Definitely not stalemated, but yes, a bit of a... Okay, so we're right on the outskirts of Paris now again, a bit more. They're pushing up. Well, it looks like they sort of kind of are withdrawing from Paris. Let's take a look a bit around the map here. Okay, Yugoslavia is still at peace. Unlike historically, Italy is doing much better in Greece. There's a lot of various reasons why Italy did so bad. Let's pause this because we want to look here. Okay. Well, so far, neither side has overly stationed troops here. Because, you know, overdo it for the supply, and Italy's moving into Tunisia. So that's good. And we can come out here and we can see Japan is doing very well. The only thing I would criticize is they haven't taken here. That would be a very good naval invasion. Take out, get some territory, and just create a very small front that will either force them to put a large number, number of troops to hold it, and you can hold it easy, or if they're going to try to push back at you, will weaken everything else. So, sort of gives you options. So that's the current state of the war. And hello, Michael Fox. Stand it, but I also don't like it. Like it's like baseball for me. Top of the inning, bottom of the inning, and all that. Yeah. Now I understand the rules of baseball. I like baseball movies. They're sort of dramatic and linear and whatnot. But I don't like baseball enough to want to actually like watch it, you know, being played. Okay, so far they're mostly able to retreat out before I know I could plan and execute this a bit better, but a couple of divisions there. So we'll send in these infantry, these, no, that way, those infantry divisions to push on Paris, and we can also push in one armored unit. Or NFL guy. Okay, yeah. I gotta say, I like baseball more than NFL. I'm not a American football guy. Again, don't not hate it or anything like that. Just don't care enough about it. Would be probably an accurate statement. I'm not a big sports guy. I mean, just generally speaking, I'm not a person who... My sport, I guess, is history and other things, you know, or doing things, shooting guns and whatnot. I think we're talking about the doing of things versus the watching of things. Sports, at least for a lot of people, is both a you know, a watching and a participation. A bunch of people just watch, a bunch of other people participate in these activities. Being from a Ruby city, I get a lot of stick for following something where men have to wear protection. It's all banter. Yeah, Rugby City. Oh, okay, I got that. Rugby there. Yeah. Well, the reason they have to wear protection in the NFL is... Have you seen how massive those players are? And if they were bashing into each other without... a level of protection of something sort of like they're getting, that would be to serious injuries. What is your troops in Normandy suffer from low supply? Try to boost motorization level. I hear you, but no, pause. Okay. We only have 450 trucks, and I don't want to use them up. Yeah, I know. I see the red there, and we're gonna get some of that fix as we get more railways and as we get this supply point somewhat railwayed up. We'll get that better. So I'm not gonna do that. I mean, not that it's a bad idea, but I think I need my trucks for motorized divisions, because I know I could requisition trucks, maybe we should look some here, but I still got a lot of divisions to upgrade and form the 13th Panzer, motorize the 3rd Infantry Division. I don't have to do all these, but damn, I certainly want to do most of them. Now, I don't want to give Himmler a field command, but I do want to do most or all of these. Some of these are just date hard-coded or have other things. So I'm not for turning over my trucks to motorized supply. I mean, yeah, I like to gain mechanic, but I'm not going to do it. Use large trucks, not transports, for logistics. Where are my large trucks? Yeah. I still don't know. I think I'm gonna try it this way. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think I'm gonna be stupid and try it this way. Because so far, I'm doing well. Maybe not as well as I should be. Okay, where are you going? You're okay. You march into there. You're almost into there. So then you cross the river there. You come there. You guys attack here to keep them pinned. No, you guys are still getting up to the front. Them to motor up supply hubs. Yeah. I'm just afraid to do that, quite honestly. You know, this may sound weird, but I don't want to run out of trucks for later on. And I just don't know enough about what my needs will be for that. I think I'm doing well enough as it is. Got a division holding there, the rest are moving up. One's holding here, the other two are blossoming out. You know it reduces our effectiveness in combat, but if I can get to hold some of these positions and keep the French balance. Now they're going to be fighting here. Yeah, okay, well, I'll get paused. Now what you're going to do is you're going to support that attack, not going to occupy it, but be part of the attack there. Well, what we're going to do is attack here. And I hate that I can't pre-order these to support. Partially that's to slow up some of these movements from other locations. I know I could have just added another front here, but I didn't want to attack across the water to get that negative penalty there. Okay, you're here now. You're going to join that push. All along the front. Well, now we're just at well, these are across the river on red, but these guys are doing a little better. Okay, so we're getting a little better supply coming in. Heavy trucks cannot be used to equip divisions, only for logistics. Oh! I did not know that, folk. I thought some, like, heavy artillery needed heavy trucks. Maybe just the prime movers then. Okay. Well, it's getting late. You have to go. Yes. Yes, very good. Seeing glad things worked out for you. So hopefully see you tomorrow. You guys joined that attack. Well. Okay, well, we'll see. Good to know that they're only for transport of supplies. Now we've got those coming in. You joined that attack. How is this battle going? Yeah, he looks like he's about ready to collapse. He's going to reinforce there, and there, reinforce. Good. You push into Paris as well. I know they're going to have a lot of troops there, but when I started the attack, they didn't, and okay, all right. You two just immediately start going. Go, 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 go. Don't give them time to reorganize. And by tying up troops in the Battle of Paris, it means they are not joining some of these other fights. They're down here, or out here, or in here. Yep, that one division did collapse, it looks like. Hello, man. 260. You drove a truck once? Well, cool. I'm guessing you mean a big one, but I don't know. Cool. Yeah, you support that attack. You guys join it. Get across that river. Okay, so they've stopped their attack. Yeah, we have supply problems. Let's move the 5th Panzer Division down that way. They'll probably occupy it before we get there, but again, it's just making them spread themselves out. Those are west wall holding, looking good. Now you're motorized, want to keep you going. Oh. Need to have some of these infantry divisions keep coming forward. Okay, we've got more of the outside of Paris covered. Now, we're pushing here pretty good with some infantry divisions. I was hoping this would collapse sooner. Well, we'll wait. I want to send it... okay, these guys... and these guys start pushing on this one division there, and you can join that too. That's what I was waiting for. Now add that as a we go. Support that attack. We're getting more Italian aircraft over us than ours. Okay, so they pushed into France here, which I guess is sort of kind of smart. Naval battles going on. Lots of them all over the place in the Mediterranean. Still doing okay in Greece. Pushing rather well for fairly small forces, which that's what it should be in North Africa. But also pushing into Tunisia. Good. Holding Sicily, though. See, again, why the hell do you have a motorized unit in Corsica? No, Sardinia. That's Corsica. Yeah, I know the map. Oh my god. Now, the mountain unit, nah, that does make sense, because these are mountains. And those are mountains. That is a mountainous area. Though it might make more sense to put the mountain unit over here. But still, the mountain unit itself is not seriously a problem. Why have a mountain unit in cities? Or, what is this? Hills. You know, when you have this is why, you know, that is what makes me. Ugh. Hello, Plastic Gangster. Good to have you here. Modern World, then, gamer. No, we're still doing World War II. We just, you know, well, these are 3D models and not sprites, but yeah. Gamer, look, assigning trucks to a motor pool hub does not destroy them. A few of them will be. Okay. Okay, so yeah, motorization level. Okay. We will try that. I know we can reduce it later on. But now we're up at that. Okay, if we're not going to lose them, I'm not saying lose any one of them, but if we're not going to chew up too many of them and whatnot, we'll do that. The Alpine passes between France and Italy have a lot of infrastructure and roads, passes, mountains in the middle of... Yeah, I know, but still, just bonuses for for what terrains you're fighting in is where I would put the mountain troops, but yeah. Oh, tank workshop. And hello, Frog Eyes. Commanders have traits increased by little blue signs. Yes, I do know that. I do know. I am just, well, worried about using my... Oh, I guess I meant my max command power. I don't like how some of these things take away the manpower. Or the max... Right, okay. I do know how this works. Okay, Guderian, we will spend the 15. Now I know you can only get so many. And Hopner. You only get so many of these, but yeah, let's do those couple there. Okay, that's down to 36. Let's earn up some more command power and we'll do some more. Yes. And did I say hi, Frog Eyes? I probably did. Use the one on Calais. Yeah, that's the one I motorized, is the one here. Well, I put the one, well, I motorized this one here. At wherever this is. That's going to be the one that's closest to the front. I know it's still 10 days here to get the last little stretch of railway repaired, but yes. Just meant you had to move into the modern world of Void4 as opposed. Well, I'm still planning on... I was talking to Exurgin, oh, was it yesterday, a bit. He's trying to get the get the game working and having some problems. I don't know what his problems are. What I want to do is advance ahead to one more version of Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice with my mod. I've several times, it's been a couple of months since the last time, several times I've started to go back, and I've got to do a bunch of work to mod their mod to some of my liking. I got to relearn what I got to change. And there's a bunch of things I got to change. I would really love some help. I would really love some of the stuff. I'm trying to remember exactly some of the, I'm not remembering all the details right now. Some of the problem is it's almost as hard to teach somebody as it is to just do it. I wish somebody with some basic guidance could learn for themselves instead of like, oh, hi, I've used a computer for 20 years now, but I need to tell me every single key click to make. As opposed to, here, we need this change to look like this other thing here, figure it out. And I could really use a helper with it. And that would also help me keep me on track, too. Because I keep getting distracted. Some with quote-unquote real-life situations outside of the gaming, some of the issues. I want to do one more major update to Third Reich events. Note I said major. Then, because I really like some of the developments for Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 3. I don't like some of the developments that I can. Again, I know how to change some of the stuff, and some of it with their help, but it's just got to do it over and over and over to a bunch of things to make it work right. A bunch of grunt work, and I just. Somewhere between motivation and actual time, not having enough time and whatever to do this stuff. I want to do that, get it going there, and then that's sort of going to become the locked-in version of Black Ice that the sub-mod will be for. I want to look, and I know Revolver Held has moved ahead with his mod. Some of the stuff that he does sort of duplicates what Third Reich Events does, and not that he can't or shouldn't, but it just makes it less compatible. But I want to use a lot of his component. I mean, I want to have. Okay, what I want to do is get Third Reich Events up to a certain standard. Doesn't mean I won't ever add a few new events to it, because I have stuff I'd like to little add. But one major update for it. Then I want to deal with the other submods like Revolver Hells, not steal his work, just maybe go in and see where we overlap and use my stuff versus his stuff, if you know what I mean. Again, not steal his, if he watches this or whoever, not steal his work, but use his mod. Might have to tweak it. I don't know, to make it work with my mod, because again, he's sort of gone on and done his own thing, just because I have not been doing any of my own thing there, so can't coordinate with me if I'm not working on it. So I want to do one more major update. Then what I want to do is work with some of you out there, whether it's Plastic Gangsta maybe even, is find some opponents who will, I mean, I'm not saying things won't happen, because things will happen on my end, but who will be available at a particular, not necessarily to live stream it, but to play multiplayer and record it. And I would prefer, I mean, I love some major, YouTubers who have some experience with this stuff. Just that would boost me up. They do stuff for their channel and I do stuff for my channel. But as a collab, but even if it's not that, even if it's just some of you great people out there, but who actually know how to play Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice. Not just, oh, I'll give it a shot, but actually know how to play Black Ice, to pick some of the other major countries. And we do a detailed, and hopefully have one or two of you, even if you're not a YouTuber, because you can make recordings and I can release them on my channel. even without watching them. I can just put them, up there so that we do a multiplayer grand playthrough. I would love to do that. And I might do a single player playthrough of Germany again. So I still want to do at least one more major playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice as Germany. And then maybe if there's enough interest after that, and that's going to take, knowing me and knowing how this goes, can take a year to get through, especially even if we play a bit faster than that. And then but putting up the episodes episodically, even if we, get through the game faster than that, but just release time can take a year to do. Then I could look at maybe playing against some other countries in Black Ice, play as Britain or play as the Soviet Union or whatever, Hearts of Iron 3. So I'm not done with that, and it's not coming to a close because there's some more major, and then we can see about playing in some other countries. But it's just time to get that going, and I just, instead of jumping in and just playing regular Black Ice, I want to do the modding, and so I just keeps me here in Hearts of Iron 4. So yeah. Yes, Modal is Hitler's fireman later in the war. I understand Plastic Gangster. I'm not specifically looking at you by any means. I mean, it's whoever wants to, and I could show a lot of the basics and show sort of where things need to be changed and what needs to sort of kind of be done, but I would like somebody who has some level and then could show me their work and what they've, not done the whole project, because there's like a bunch of, do this over. And I'm not even remember some of the stuff, and I got to go in and tear in and look, and maybe they've updated Black Ice enough that I've got to, do more or maybe do less changes now. I don't know. What it all needs to go in and do the changes, and then but have it do it for like one country, because they have got to do it for multiple countries, and then I can go in and look and see how they did it, and then tell them where they did it right, or if they did it wrong, not just, oh, you did it wrong, but here's how to do it right, and then sort of learn from that and go on. So it's not without my support, if you know what I mean, but it's something that I don't want to have to hold their hands entirely, if you know what I mean, sort of do everything for them. And why am I doing that when, if that was, I just do it for myself? But yeah. And Exergen was helping me, but with both of us, real life stuff came up and bit us, and I don't know if he has the time now or the interest or whatnot to do it. Yeah, I love Hoi 3 still. At least the Black Ice development of it. The base game, not so much. Okay, you guys stop supporting an attack that is no longer happening. You did your job of keeping some of these units in place and keeping units from moving around through that province, because they would be involved in that defense. But yeah, the Battle of Paris is maybe not going well, but and they moved in more troops, because when I started it was just one division there. Okay. You joined that. You joined that. Or one or two divisions in Paris, but yeah. But still, the point is to tie up those divisions so that we can encircle Paris. There is that point to the whole thing as well. God, I hate these counters. These counters, not counters, but damn. They cover. I like the. Oh, I can rant. It's tiresome after a while, I know, listening to me rant. Yeah, how are we doing on this? Okay, so this is where we've motorized. Oh, days have not been passing. Okay. Yeah, I want to go slow because I want to micromanage this. Oh, good. We've pushed up here. We're defending there. All right, good. These 5 divisions. Who do we want to give them to? Let's see. No, he's a garrison commander. Modal. Yeah, he can handle 5 more divisions. Okay. So 5 more divisions. You move this way. Okay, they're no longer defending here, so they're going... Those guys are going to join the attack. These guys are going to push south into the Versailles suburbs, if you will. Okay, they're here. Panzer Division, go there. You guys keep marching up. Okay, you're a little bit better. You rejoin the attack. That fort you motorized is useless because it has a capacity of 10 but feeds 60 supplies. You need to motorize the hub in Calais. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, well, I'll give this a shot too. Okay, I see that it's going up. It's going to take more more supplies. Okay. They're moving into there. Good. Okay, what? We're down just 1 on rubber. Good in the sense there. Hello. Oh, pause. How do you pronounce that? I have no real idea. Is it Theodore or Theodore Giggle? Giggle? The Oder Giggle? I don't know. Sorry. Changing your name. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Unless I hear some of these names, I don't know. Okay, sorry. I don't know how to do some of that. Okay, there was division. It was formed in this. Yeah. Important. You can search the division. Anyway, open up, change template. Okay. What? Let me read this here. The 36th Infantry Division was a German infantry formation of World War II. Okay. It was formed in Kaiserslautern on the 1st of October 1936 during World War II. It was mobilized in August 39 as part of the first wave. It was later reorganized and redesignated the 36th Infantry Division motorized in November 14. It was then demotorized, reorganized, and redesignated 36th Infantry Division on May 1943. The division was destroyed at Babaruska in June 1944 during Soviet Operation Bagration. It was reformed on the 3rd of October 1944 as the 36th Grenadier Division because Hitler ordered all infantry divisions to be renamed Grenadier Divisions unless they were the Jaeger Divisions, basically, just naming mostly difference. Renamed the 36th Volksgrenadier Division People's Grenadier Division in October 44. Important. You can search this in your army, open it up, and change the template to Infantry Division. Now rename. Okay. Well. Okay. By any chance, do we... search for... Is there a good search function here that I don't know about? Because I never need to do this normally. Okay, I guess just come here. There's the 36th Infantry Division. Here we go. Where are... Oh, we're holding the line out here. Okay, so we're doing nothing important. Let's look at templates. Okay. Infantry Division motorized. All right, we'll do this, I guess. See, this is why I sort of didn't... I was worried about it, but now I found out heavy trucks are not that. Okay, yeah, no, I need my Panzer divisions more. I don't have enough trucks. 18th Infantry Division, yeah, we're not going to do that either. Just because I want to get some of these, other motorized and or armored divisions. Okay, you support that attack. I know you were earlier. I think you were earlier. They're coming into there. They're pushing here. They're pushing there. These guys, you come like that. Okay, they're now no longer defending, so they get to go on the offense. Yay! Oh, these guys are pushing across the river. Good. You join the river offense. You're crossing. You join the river crossing there too. All right, well, we will end the episode, not the live stream, but the episode here. I want to thank everyone who made it this far. I want to especially thank, of course, Tim, Strongarm, Niagro, Timothy, Sir Toyjet, Gary, Garrett, Marcus, Folk, and, of course, the great Hoffmanator for support over on Patreon. But everyone else, if you haven't already, just hit that like button. And, of course, if you're watching later on YouTube, you can, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment as well. Everyone can leave a comment on YouTube. Love you if you did that. That's all I ask. See you next time for more, yes, even more Hearts of Iron. And what? Okay, if you need historical research for, I don't know, stats or variables or different commanders events, okay, well, I'll keep you in mind for that, but that's not really... Some of the problem is myself and a bunch of other people like to be able to go to the larger divisions. What is it? The 6th Brigade divisions or whatever. Been a while. And they went down to just the 5 Brigade, if I have the numbers correct. Sorry if I'm messing that up. Well, a few of us, including Exergen and I, want to go back to the larger division scale. Well, that's fairly easily done. And I was even given some code, and I've got the code and how to add it, is to tell nations, and we were going in, and this was just part of it, and I got some of this done, not all of it. Going in and looking at historical nations, because again, those that are working with me at different times really want to produce a historical game. And nations like the United States that had very large divisions, going in and telling the AI through the EULA code, and we have the code, to tell them to make the larger divisions and not make smaller divisions, so that not just Germany and the human player does it, but the American opponent. So that is some of the work that I remember that we needed to do, and there was some other thing needed to do, and not that there's huge amounts, but I've also changed computers and got to move the files and got to go in and look and figure it all out. And there was some other stuff, I forget what it was, but yeah, research, I'll keep you in mind, and I'll only sort of be vague, but if I come, it's not really so much research, it's more the coding details that I need the help with. But yeah, definitely thanks for your offer. That is appreciated. All right, new episode. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745, and we are deep into France. We are attacking Paris, though I know we're not doing terribly well there, and that we're still going to attack there just because we're tying up troops while we are pushing out here into the west of France and sort of around to the south, and successfully pushing down through here a bit more slowly, as this is not a World War I as in stalemate scenario. So we are going ahead with that, and that's looking good. Not maybe managing all the units best there. Italy has joined the war and is doing okay out here in the Western Desert, and doing okay going into Tunisia, and doing okay going into Greece. Maybe not great there, but it's doing okay there. So the war is expanding there, and of course Japan is doing okay in China. So that is our current status. And everyone, I hope I can get you to taste that like button. Just lick it a bit. It tastes different for each video, they say. So lick the like button. And of course, if you're new, I'm hoping I'm earning your subscription. And I know not everyone's going to watch the whole video, but maybe you jump through it a bit to see how it goes. I do appreciate even the casual sort of like get the daily update and see how the war is going. You can, watch this little bit and a little bit more, and then jump halfway through it, and then jump towards the end and see where we get to. You can just do that. And I appreciate all of you just coming and taking a look at the videos. So thank you. And so while I was saying that, we were pushing in here. Pushing in deep. We're outrunning our supply source, but we are, with a bit of help here from folk, we've got this sort of motorized up. This here will get, in 8 days, we will get more supply coming through here. And hopefully get capture some more supply centers to help support our push. And okay, now we have this infantry division there and Poletsai here. So I think we're going to, let's push this way. And you're going to support that push, but not actually leave your province. Just to sort of be winning that battle there. Yeah, you're coming to join into there, and now that, yeah, I think maybe I don't want to redirect you. Let's just keep you moving to there. Continue to sort of encircle. Okay, we're across the river here. Good, and we're getting some more motorized forces coming up, so let's start pushing along here. And use that infantry division here. Okay, now we're hitting them from 2 directions. Yes, we are more or less lost the air war over France, that is. But we are winning the ground war, which is what's important, I think. You can reorganize up a bit. You're coming in to reinforce the situation. Okay, well, we're losing stability. I hope if we end this war with France, we'll get a big stability boost. I don't know. Okay, that offensive petered out, but let's support that while some units move up to support our next drive out of that province. Okay, good. So here we are. And the 2 motorized divisions going forward. Once they enter the action, support with the infantry division. That way it helps these guys with that counterattack happening there. Again, guys, just go after Paris just to keep the troops there tied up. Okay, yes. Yeah, I think we'll send these 2 motorized forces along this way. Let's sort of drive onto Paris. Let's send these 2 divisions that way and this division that way. This is now empty, so let's spend in a couple of divisions there. Yeah, somebody's coming, I realize that, but they won't be entrenched or maybe even well organized when we hit it. We've got Hungarian forces moving around. To what end, guys? To what end? Where are you going? You thinking you're going to go invade Europe or invade? Okay, resulted from proposal Kurt tank. Okay, it would be useful. Okay, we've got Condor C1. All right, good, good, good. I think, yes. Maybe I should have read that and honored the event better. I like events that tie in, so we now have naval bombers. Good, long range type. Designed at least. Okay, this can only be, and we are already doing that. So, let's get better Stukas researched. What is our current naval bomber? That's the flying boat. Transports, we're just going to keep making the basic transport. I don't know that we're doing naval bomb. Oh, we got this naval bomb right here. 3 a month, and if I switch it, we're going to go down. So yeah. Well, we need more factories, that's for sure. How many are damaged? Holland, these are we're taking over. Yeah, those are mostly just damaged in the battles of Holland and whatnot from bombing. Okay, well. Let's send this army division around this way. We really don't need him or him to pound on this city. I know we have a few here that I'm thinking of. Yeah, let's take all 3 of these motorized forces and send you south there. I know we could attack there, but I'm really hoping that we will win against a single division there. So we're hitting from more than one province. Okay, these guys are moving forward, so we'll move all these guys forward with them. These are coming forward to there. Oh, yeah. Turn that around. Alright, well now we're going to do this again, but it's going to be against just 1 division instead of 2. I think that's what we had last time, and you're going to support. Okay, we got that, and you're going to support that. Okay, so now we got half-tracks, armored half-tracks designed. Yeah, okay. We're being pushed back. All right. Send more divisions into the area of that. I'm not wanting to send. Well, I'm sending those 2 divisions around here. I know. Yeah, these. I'm trying to get this Paris thing surrounded. Yeah. We can look at supply again here. So we're. Yeah, it is orange. I see. Well. 4 more days, and then we should have that as a better supply hub. Good. You guys made that. So 1 of those. Move these that way. And they're gonna hopefully push there effectively. So, well, you support this. Okay, you go into Khan, the city there. You guys attack down into this path. Good. We're all the way down to here. Very good. Okay. You go that way. You go that way. And you, yes, you also go this way. That leaves these other divisions here. Again, I hate the way these counters work. You support that attack. You support that attack. And we'll leave you two just sitting there, waiting if there's going to be a counterattack. Oh good, these guys have already stopped their attacking that car. Let's go into Orleans. There are there now. They are there now. So you support that attack without leaving position. Well, they're being pushed back there. So, where are you going? You're, okay, you're going to occupy there. Probably before he gets across. Probably. Okay, well, good. So now, well, I guess we send you to there. And we send you, and you, and you to there, with you supporting it. And that way we can cut all of these off, pocket them, and, oh, like I say, we need to keep this going, guys, so that they fight to hold Paris and not run away. We can successfully surround them. Support that attack. What? Oh, wait a minute. Are we... Okay. You are for forbidden to go there. So don't send supply. I think they were sending supplies into the port. Oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want to lose my shipping doing that. You know, they're on motorization level. They're on motorization level. Good. Oh, this is now working. Okay, well, we can do that, I guess. There we go. That's better supply. Probably take that back down to... there we go. That's going back down to horses. No, we got more factories, free military. Okay. Yeah, I like... oh, we're going to use rubber. Oh, well, but I'm like my big naval bombers, and we do have, yes, those guys, which they also use rubber, which we need to do too. Okay, trade. We may do that soon, but we're going to have this soon, so that'll get us some more synthetic rubber. Okay, we got 3 armored divisions. Well, bullet size non-armored division. But, and these guys are Lish divisions. But you guys move forward. Move forward. Okay, well, the can attack stalled out, but that was mostly just a holding operation. I think we're going to concentrate here for the moment on trying to get across the river here. You can support the attack. I want you to hold position. We'll buy time to get him into place. And hopefully be able to hold once in place. Hopefully. Alright, well, we're down here now. They're pushing into there now. Yes, France is collapsing. Yeah, I do. Okay, you're right. I have lost the sky. A lot of I don't want to give up even the small production lines there. These guys will help with the bombers. We are doing just one factory on Stukas for that production line. Okay, that's another factory. We switched over the rubber there from the bombers. I mean, handheld anti-tank. Let's see, how many are we producing handheld anti-tank? Should get this better organized, but I just don't because I'm lazy. I end up taking more time, especially your time as I look through this. Handheld anti-tank. Okay, let's go down to one of these because we had a lot of those. Don't know if we have enough of those, but we have a lot of them. Okay, so that would get us 2 more factories. And we got a lot of light anti-tank, so not producing heavy anti-air guns, but all right. Let's look at how many factories we have in light anti-tank. Two factories. I think we can go down to one. Let's add another one here. So mills and radio equipment should go into air. Okay. Let's look for radio equipment. It's a brownish sort of box, if I remember, because I see symbols faster than I see. Okay, it's a grayish sort of box. Okay. Oh boy, we've got a lot of those. So let's go down to 3. I think let's. Oh no, I want to come here. How many radios do we have? I know I can push them back up. Garrison, which we're trying to catch up on Garrison. We got a lot of Europe to garrison here. Yeah, okay, we got 9,000. Right. Okay, so we've got a lot of radios now. Or radio things done. We got that. Okay, so that would be 5 more. Right. Well, we are now. Let's. Oh, we may have to wait today. I thought we would need more rubber. Well, fighters don't need rubber. That's right. I thought fighters needed rubber. They don't. Oh, no wonder. Okay, good. Because the other bombers, other aircraft do, but fighters don't. Okay. That was one of my reluctance. I was mistaken on that. Thought we needed rubber for fighters, because I am still. Well, okay. Let's hold these air wings. I want to control the airspace over Germany, and I know it's not being terribly contested, because I don't want to be bombed my factories, but I'm giving up trying to do that. Okay, all the way down to 1 mil. Okay, I'll go with your suggestion, and we'll just blame you when I lose, even though it won't be because of radios. That will get us 2 more. Okay, because we have the aluminum. Now, I don't know. Oh, we need more. Well, we're going to continue this, but we need to increase air production capacity. I don't know that any of that would increase production capacity. I don't think so. Luftwaffe expansion. Okay, well, that would do air assembly slots. So 56 days, though. Not air production capacity. Artillery and small arms. That's good. Yeah, I don't know if this is a good idea, because we're negative all of that. Total used. Oh. You need to do aircraft factories. We're even lower than that now. Yeah. Where is aircraft factories? I know. Yeah. Okay. Assembly plants here. Hey, Hoffmanator. Thank you for showing up. Well, the war goes well, production goes badly. That's how I would describe it. The war goes well. I'm going to move both of these to the top. That will help. It will help. Okay, we've got Paris cut off. Oh no, they still have this one province that's sort of kind of supplying out, though we've cut the rail links out of Paris. You join the assault on Paris. Yeah, oh yeah, well, we are doing somewhat historical. Okay, why? Oh, we were attacking their submarines. That's why we're battling here. Because I'm trying to send stuff along the Norwegian coast for my one sort of importation of rubber from Thailand, which the British have not yet figured out how we're doing that, I guess. Okay. This division and this division attack there. Came after 1 hour and told you this looks like it's becoming another World War I. Well, I don't know. We're circling in Paris. We're pushing deeper. You come up to there. You and you all attack that way. And you support the attack. Don't go into it. Build them, or there's some text that will increase them. Hello, some Molly. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering it. Don't mean to. Yeah, well, I'm circling around. I mean, this is sort of kind of like what they wanted the Schlieffen plan to be. Yes. You're changing your name again. Oh, were you? Oh, hello, Salty Crew over on Rumble. Sorry I didn't see your post earlier. Hope you're still around. Our Salty 3 crew. Okay, so we're pushed all the way down into here. They're bringing up reinforcements. They're falling back. Sort of hoping they'd get across and we would do something a little bit more there. Nope. I know we didn't start the war until spring 1940, so we delayed that. Yeah. No, we've not done Westerbork. It's a combination of reasons that I haven't done it. One, you know, I do have all these mountain divisions, which would go nicely to do that. But also, where is it? It's around here somewhere. The police are outside. Let's see. Okay. They drove away. Where's Westerbork? It's in here somewhere. Okay. Operation Westerbork. I just haven't had time to do the national focus with everything else. You know, I mean, it's a combination of that complaint and what? Gamer fighter production one takes only 30 days. Research, meanwhile, you need to unassign mills. Air production, you're just wasting them. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So, fighter production 1. Let me see if I can find fighter production 1. Thank you again, folk, for all of your... It's probably over here in this mess. Now we're going to wait for this to go. Okay, so... it's a tech. Oh, it's a tech. Well, let's find it here. I think you're meaning here, because we have... Okay. Fighter workshops here, if that's what we're talking. We have that. We have that. If that's what you're talking about. So we have that. Oh yeah, no, I'm enjoying the mod so far. So yeah, if you're talking Fighter Workshops 1 here, yeah, we have that. We've got to get down to here to be able to do 2. So, okay, well, we're at negative 34, so let's see. That's negative 16. I know it isn't a 1-for-1, negative 4. Okay, there we go. Well, I'm still going to keep these like single military factories for some of these others. Now this is other fighters. I mean, these are these are obviously heavy fighters, but will help with the bombers, and that's sort of why I'm having them operate here. Our production there. I've cut back most of the other bombers and transports to just minimums to keep some in production, and I want to have some long-range naval bombers in production. Yeah. Well, thank you, Seth. Okay, so we got 6 more ICs. Let's see, what other big glaring holes? Artillery and heavy artillery, medium and heavy artillery. Let's do at least 1 each of those added to it. Add to whatever their production current. Heavy artillery 1, medium artillery 1. Let's do 2 more in medium artillery. It's we got some cushion here. We'll catch up on the garrison equipment someday. Light tanks were burning up, but I want to build more mediums and supports and stugs. Okay. It's down to the bottom again because that's where these are. Okay. Here. Okay, let's do 2 and 1. I think we need more of the 3s than the 4s. These guys are going to come in and reinforce that. They're pushing there. These guys are going to join the cavalry division, hopefully before it gets pushed out. We've almost got Paris surrounded. We are pushing in 2 locations. You support that attack. Do not leave position, though. Getting some more forces pushing in there. So definitely in the stalemate sense, this ain't World War I, but is a bit more. They moved some forces, Britain and France, up into the Low Countries, but not as much, and we didn't quite trap them there. And they've, of course, fought for Paris instead of let Paris be an open city. Production interface by category by pressing shift clicking. Yeah, and I could reorganize the whole thing too. Yeah, I know. Panzer 3s and 4s are what we're producing. The F and the D. So, yeah. Decent models for this time period, but waiting for him to get to, well, let the clock go. Get to here to they're down to 1 division already, so they had a big stack before. You join that and you push down to there. I think we'll add you there. You attack again. You're just... You support that attack. Again, just trying to pin these forces so they don't all slip out through the pocket. Improved computing machine. Great. Good. We wanted to do that. Helps all other research. Okay, so, right. So we've got radios. We don't have that. We're doing some radar. We got computing machines. Let's come back over here. Well, this is a 41. No, it's already November, so it's just a pause. Oh, another victory for Winterland. We've got Paris. Okay, we're gonna start this research here. So we've just taken Paris. Assurance of victory, war propaganda, which will give weekly stability. United we fight, which will also give weekly stability. Weekly stability 30%. That's better. We'll wait a few days to get a little bit more and see if something else pops up here that we finally got into Paris, but we've taken that out. Is there anything I need to pay attention to right now? I don't know. Yes, very good. Okay, back to here. Yeah. Decrease. Okay. Oh, that's only 25. But it's more consumer goods. Yeah, but still, we'll do it. We'll do it. It's plus 80th of a percent. It's not plus 80%. It's plus 80th of a percent. But still, yeah, that should help. War is hurting it. Yeah. It's that Himmler thing that I just don't approve of. If you really sort of look at what was going on, it really, the SS was really, I would say, more stabilizing situation than destabilizing situation. The SS, for all of its evilness, and it was very evil, this isn't anything like justification, it was a very effective organization. It was not like the SA. The SA, you know, it's a blunt force instrument, shall we say. I think that would be a good sort of way to look at it. When they get out and do like election campaigning or whatnot, okay, yeah. I guess you guys attack across the river, that single division there. Where are you going? You're going straight south. Okay. You attack across there. That way it's sort of kind of trapping these guys. Okay, they've got their reinforcements in both places. That's good. Like I was saying, so the SA, you know, can be intimidating, be out on the street, which does sort of create its own stability, but may also create its own instability. Both approval and disapproval of what's going on there within the people. But the SS, they're fairly sophisticated. They're putting out spies around, and these aren't like guys in black trench coats that everyone sees that those are the Gestapo. No, these are the Gestapo that just look like going out in a, you know, civilian clothes, just looking like another civilian. And they do, you know, have women, and I don't know whether some of these people are sort of like hired agents and not like actual SS members, or whether these are SS members. But are going out and standing in rationing lines and listening and taking notes very carefully without people knowing it of what people are talking about and what problems there are. And these are all getting reported up, and so that they're trying to deal with problems, increasing stability. Well, I'm not talking about the Waffen SS. That's a different thing, folk. There's the Waffen SS and there's the SS, which is the overall, the general or allgemein SS. They're a different thing. And I'm talking about the guy. Well, you know, some of that's the Gestapo. Some of that, because the Gestapo is sort of an investigative agency. They were the Gestapo, and it originally starts out as the Gestapo, and it's named after the sort of postmark that was done, but it sort of changes over to the Gestapo, and it starts out as and the reason I came over here is the Prussian police, Prussian political police, going after political dissidents, shall we say, and it pre-exists the Nazi takeover of in 1933, and it comes under the Gestapo, comes under Goering, because Goering is president of Prussia, while Hitler is Chancellor of Germany, and Hindenburg is president of Germany. You know, so he's sort of like being governor in America kind of thing. He is, but of Prussia, which is a very large area in Germany, not just East Prussia or West Prussia, but is all of Prussia. And so he's in charge of all of the police. Goering is in charge of all of the police, you know, all the different types of police in Prussia. Well, at some point, I don't know the date right offhand, at some point, all of the police come under the SS. It gets moved to the SS. So, but not all policemen are SS men. Now, eventually, all police generals, and they become called generals, are also SS men. But the regular police are not SS men. The Gestapo gets moved into, because it's an investigative agency, gets moved into the SS. And so they are often moving around in pseudo plainclothes, and and they start working outside of just the you know, Prussia, all over. But the Gestapo are, you know, sort of an investigative. Yeah, they will arrest you, obviously, but they're sort of an investigative agency within it, as opposed to various other SS stuff. And some of them are, you know, you've heard of course, like the Lebensborn, the sort of orphanages that the SS, because they want, you know, for various reasons, and some of them are a bit salacious. You know, they're trying to increase birth rate, so, you know, if somebody, you know, some SS person get, you know, child out of wedlock, and some of it gets a bit salacious and maybe a bit untrue in some of the documentaries and or pseudo documentaries, but you know, but there's other kinds of, shall we say, non-enforcement type duties that the SS are also doing, and there's a lot of people. It becomes a huge operation. And they're just getting too many people out this way. Okay, Guderian has gained enough experience. Okay. I think it's the German and Polizei, the local police forces that were never part of the RHSA. Okay, plus the military secret police, like the... Okay, yeah, there's the Field Jag Corps and the Field Gendarmerie, which are also independent of the RHSA. Yeah, Hans but is it RHSS? I'm not sure. Oh god, I don't know. Maybe you're looking at it. Sorry if you know you're right. as far as I know, okay, and, you know, things changed from 1933, again, and I use very specific language in 1933, that Hitler was chancellor. Sometime in 1934, after Hindenburg dies, almost immediately after Hindenburg dies, he becomes Führer, when they combine the offices of chancellor and the offices of president in Hitler into one office, and Hitler takes it over. So, you know, this is all moving along, because when Hitler, do note, when Hitler is chancellor, the army is loyal to the president. So it's not like, well, it's sort of like, okay, it's really sort of weird. Because Hitler is chancellor, it is sort of like prime minister in Britain. But the chief executive is the president of Germany, which is Hindenburg. But Hitler's running the government as chancellor. He's chancellor. But that isn't like being the American Speaker of the House, because there is a Speaker of the Reichstag, which is, and had been for some considerable amount of time prior to Hitler coming to power, had been Göring. Göring was quite popular with a lot of groups of people because he was an air ace in World War II, and yeah, he was a Nazi. And a lot of people that thought the Nazis were okay, but their political party was something else, some other thing. So, you know, Göring gets enough support even before the Nazis come to power. And when the Nazis come to power, they don't hold the majority position of votes in the Reichstag. They are a very large party, and maybe the largest party, but it's really they need the coalition with the conservatives, because there's several of them, several parties there that are on the conservative wing, which, as opposed to the revolutionary wing, right wing, which is the Nazis, as opposed to the revolutionary, I'm calling it right wing at the moment, I vacillate on it, where there's the revolutionaries on the left, you know, the radical socialist and the communist, as opposed to the social democrats, which are just sort of left, center left in Germany. So there's all these different parties, and it's the Nazis, I think, in 33 are the biggest party, but they're not the majority party in the Reichstag. They're not the majority party in the Reichstag. They still got to do coalitions. And now the president, which is of the conservative party, Hindenburg, has a lot of power in who he appoints and how it does it, but they have to get some sort of workable majority. So they do a deal with the Nazis, and they had previously done deals with the Nazis prior to this, and that's why Göring is Speaker of the Reichstag, which is like Speaker of the House in the U.S. So the army doesn't answer to Hitler in 1933. It's that sort of famous thing, and why people often point to, I think maybe overpoint to it, is why the army doesn't rebel against Hitler, is when they swear that oath to Hitler in 34 after Hindenburg dies. But it is also, and they maybe overdo the, I think it is important, but I think it's overdone. You know, I'm not saying there isn't serious relevancy, but I just think there is, I think it's overdone. Because when they're to the Führer, and then in the swearing, and you can see some of the film of it, Adolf Hitler. So they do name him as he is the Führer, but as in the current office holder. So I don't think this is some sort of personal bond loyalty like it was to, like the German officers would have maybe felt to the Kaiser. But I think it's more that they're just swearing to, the actual now head of the state, as well as head of the government. And this is why, Hitler, again, and I'll read through Plastic Gangster's thing. Again, in 33, the army doesn't answer to the civil state in Germany. It answers to the presidency, which is, of course, a civil elected office. But that is different, and it's a different sort of chain of command than the civil state. And this goes back to Prussia, the way Prussia and Frederick the Great and his, descendants sort of organized the army as sort of separate from the state. It's really, especially if you look at Prussia, it's really a state designed to support an army, as opposed to a army supporting a national state. Well, why do we have a state? Well, of course, to support the army, because we just want to have an army. Almost in a way, Frederick the Great wanted to have an army, he didn't care about ruling territory. No, he just wanted, not, that's obviously silly, but you get the idea that it was the army that was everything to them. So, and so Hitler is very worried about, even after the, very worried, paranoidally worried about the army even after this swearing in ceremony. This is why I say I think it's overdone. One of his big relief points is once they get into general conscription back into Germany, and then millions, I don't want to overstate it, but it is more than 1 million, it's in a few million, SA men are drafted into the army, either as full-time or as in reserves. And he believes, whether it's correct or not, he believes that having these men now all throughout the army, not like commissars like you would see in the Soviet Union, but just percolated through all of the divisions everywhere, that there's less likely of a revolt, or if there is a revolt, it's a lot less likely that the army itself will respond, most units will respond to, the call to revolt against Hitler. So that's sort of why I'm going in it, because I think it's sort of looking backwards that they overdo that ceremony. So let's see what plastic ink. Following Hitler's appointment as Chancellor in 1933, the military oath changed again, although the soldiers were required to swear loyalty to the people in the country. Volk and Vaterland. Rather than individual leaders, all this changed with the death of President Paul von Hindenburg in August 34. I just didn't know the date, but I knew it was then, roughly. And at this time, Adolf Hitler began to solidify his control over Germany. Well, I mean, he was already controlling over the army, but solidifying his control over the army starting. That same day, all military personnel swore. Yeah, the office, of course, mostly Junkers and Vons and Zers, so the oath would be important to men like that. Yes, it is important to men like that. But I will say this. Very many of these guys have contempt for Hitler. Model, he's ideologically supporting. He's an ideological Nazi. Let's take some quick look in here. Well, Schroner may also be. I would maybe go down that. I'm sort of guessing on that. Reichenau. Reichenau is another hardcore ideological Nazi. He dies of a heart attack during the war while jogging or something. And there's a few others, and I'm not talking about the SA guy or the SS guys, but there's a few others that are ideological Nazis. But a lot of these guys have contempt for Hitler on many levels. But I'm not saying the oath isn't important. I'm forgetting who, oh, I don't know how. One of the major generals that becomes close to Hitler's chief of, staff is offering in 1938, offering to Chamberlain, well, we'll do a revolt against Hitler, dudes, if you just simply, attack Germany. We'll revolt. But you gotta vigorously attack Germany and we'll revolt. I forget again what general that was. And this was all during the Munich crisis in 1938. So the army is going, if you just declare a war and you go sit behind the Maginot Line with the French and, go do, battles the U-boats or something, well, we won't revolt. We'll fight the war against Czechoslovakia. But if you stand up to Hitler and vigorously go in, we'll do a coup or a putsch or whatever they want to call it. So you get, and this is fairly well recorded. I mean, it's not, it was secret, and they never blew the guys, publicized it during the war, as far as I know, that they offered to do a coup, and they and this was some fairly high up. Brauchitsch could be, I forget who. Hadler. That's, I think it was Franz von Hadler. I think it was Hadler. I think Folk has that right. No, Gaudeler is the mayor. He's anti-Hitler all the time. No, I'm talking about within the Army High Command, and I think it's Hadler. I think it was him that offered this very secretly to, and that but the idea was, and they were talking, this is obviously treason talk, talking that it, had to be real push because this is in 38. So, they've reinstituted by this point mass drafting, but, and there's lots of SA men running around. There's lots of SS men running around, but we'll stage a coup, based on the idea that Hitler has taken Germany into a war that we're unprepared for and we're going to lose. So we've got to do a coup, and then we'll, peace out. Whether of course they were thinking, well, we're keeping Austria, of course, because Austria is part of Germany, and we're keeping this, but hey, you can have the, he was chief of staff. That's what I mean. Chief of staff of the German army in 1938 was offering to do a coup against Hitler. So yes, you got that right, Plastic Gangster, and of course, Folk, for getting that. Thank you for getting the name right. And so they're offering to do a coup in 1938. So this is chief of staff. This isn't some divisional general off somewhere else, because I forget there was another divisional general, and one of the things that I thought of, and I'm sort of for a mod, if I ever start modding, whether this game or some other game, of all the different assassination type attempts against Hitler, and what to do, and whether just to have them all fail or mostly fail, or have them 99% or 95% chance to fail, or what, I don't know. But there was one divisional officer early on, during, I think, the Phony War era, who was commanding a division along the West Wall, was waiting for, or maybe a corps commander or something, was waiting for Hitler to show up, and he was going to arrest him. Which is the stupidest fucking thing in the world. But he thinks he's going to arrest Hitler. I'm not saying, and I he was serious. I believe he was serious about it. I don't think it was just some sort of, oh, wouldn't it be nice, or talking over too much, a parade or something that starts, I think, with an E, EP. I don't know. Was, he would wind up in the July 20th, I think, the liberated Austria, they made a film about it. But one general was planning on doing that. Now, because you don't want to, because if you arrest somebody like Hitler, you're going to get it's going to be a problem. It's going to be, an attempt to, now maybe he was just saying to his co-conspirators or whatever, within his command, it was just a few people. We're just going to arrest him. You don't arrest him. You grab him and you shoot him. You don't give the chance for the army to go, whoa, but we do talk about it. And I'm not saying they were frivolous about this oath, but there's enough evidence that they were willing to revolt against him if they thought they could get enough support. Because that's the idea. The idea is not, can we do a revolt against Hitler? It's, can we get the support, because we have generals like Model and Reichenau, which are ideologically ideologically Nazis, not just nationalists that want to defend Germany against threats. Communism, liberalism, French retaking the Rhineland, or whatever, Poland pushing its borders west. whatever, you know, not just nationalist generals or traditionalist generals or whatnot, but some of these guys are ideological national socialists with all those, not just racism, but all the sort of mysticism combined going on. So there's a lot of that going on, and you got to get enough support so that when you can get these guys arrested. And so you needed to have the situation in which, because in 38 Germany's fairly damn weak, that you push, that, you know, if you're pushing into the Rhineland, you're pushing, you know, because in 38 again the you know, West Wall is very weak. You know, push in vigorously and attack and regain. You got to take Berlin or something, but push in and vigorously push German forces back somewhere. Then we can do this, because we can say, oh shit, leader went crazy, getting us into a second war. We've been devastated by the first one. Let's you know, do this. So that's why I say that oath is not insignificant, but not as powerful as when we're looking back at it and thinking it is. So yeah, that's where I am on that. There's a lot of stuff. And so, you know, if you just arrest Hitler, then you'll get all the SA units, you'll get all the SS units. The SS are small comparatively, but the SA is big. You'll get a bunch of men in various units that, if they weren't in field gray, they would be in brown shirts, wondering what the hell are we doing. And, you know, no, you gotta eliminate Hitler. And, you know, of course, you'll have the Luftwaffe, which is, unlike the Navy and unlike the Army, which both of those over time are becoming more and more now. Every single organization, literally every single organization in Germany, is going through a national socialization process. I mean, the national chefs organization. There is a national sort of chefs for like hotels and restaurants, you know, chefs organizations. I've saved, you know, photos of brochures and stuff to like make events for it. There is, you know, that they're holding. That's National Socialite. The local gardening society of Nuremberg or wherever, and again, I have some of this stuff from this, they got to come into national socialized. Every single organization is being national socialized in Germany over time. That doesn't mean that they're all filled with Nazis. That just means they got to sort of kind of comply, you know, no Jews, no communists, no whatever. You know, everything is being moved, and there's resistance. And you can look at Hitler's Compromises, a great book, well researched, that deals with Hitler making compromises for the sort of middle of the road German citizens when his regime or elements of it get pushed back. Demonstrations, and there's a lot of them, demonstrations going on. There, up until the end, there are either in the high hundreds or low thousands, and it's talked about in the book, and I just don't remember, of Jewish men that are married to Aryan women. Late in the war, and by that I mean 44 or 45, and this is like in the Berlin area, a bunch of these men are sort of taken away. Okay? Now this is after the Holocaust has been raging for years and millions of people have died in it. Well, these Aryan women, by their definition, show up with signs peacefully, but showing up and protesting in Berlin. Their husbands are, and I think they're sort of somewhat, and I don't remember the details, sorry, and I, not remembering all the details here. So, but the basic point is, and they're in some sort of monitored situation, but they were sort of arrested and were going to be taken away. Well, they're brought back and given back to these Aryan women because, for all of the under orders or feared to be shot, there's a hell of a lot of pushback when the average, not the communist, not the Jew, but the average sort of German pushes back, and not the occupied Pole or the Dutch or whoever, but the quote unquote right type of people. If they push back against the regime, even late into it, the regime often, not always, and they look at some of the different case studies within this book, gives into this. So these women, in essence, through to the end of the war, save their husbands that are clearly Jews, registered as Jews, but they're married to an Aryan woman. Even with all of the laws going on about, racial marriage, they save their husbands just by protest, by coming out and publicly protesting on the street. They don't arrest these women. Now, other times, what is happening is they are given orders to, like, Nuremberg or Hamburg or Hanover, to all of you people, a lot of them are women and with children, go here, go somewhere in the countryside. Here's your area. You're now, and they get put on trains, and they go here, and they given new ID cards that say that they're supposed to be here. And these are just, you're getting your standard sort of German citizens. And after a while, and the main reason is because of bombings and whatnot. And they're trying to non-essential workers or non-essential personnel, get them out of, that aren't working in a factory that's located, get them out of these bombing zones. Well, after a few months of these things, a lot of these women are like sick of where they are. They can't, it's trying to get a job or trying to find they're crammed into bad living conditions that they feel, which very well may be. It's just not set up well for them. So they break the orders because because it gives their new location, and they go back here, and then they get arrested. And this goes, so they're arresting people and whatever, and some, for a while, they're sort of brutal to some of them. And so there's a lot of push back and forth. So, the National Socialist regime is, is not, again, to the Jew, to the Pole, to the whoever, they're as brutal as all hell. But compare it to the Stalinish regime and how they treat Russian citizens who would show up in front of the Kremlin and I hate, or Stalin, give our husbands back. All of those women would have just disappeared. You just know it, okay, if they had done that. And there would, we wouldn't know that they'd done that because they would have been out there less than an hour and they would have gone away and no one would have talked about it. So maybe they did that and they disappeared. We don't know. But we know, because the reason we know some of this stuff is because the SS recorded it and we have their documentation of some of the SS documentation. So we know because they write reports on these incidents. And this is where, and I forget the author, and I should do a book review thing, and I've been thinking about doing that as, shorter book review. And so, he's looking at the documents, and reading these documents is how he knows about some of this stuff. And some of this stuff even gets printed in newspapers, that there's this protest going on during, late in the war and earlier. So, you gotta, Hitler is worried about revolt throughout his whole regime. And it's the one thing that makes most of it go away, most of his worries and most of it, is taking of Paris and the defeat of France. That's the big thing. And let's see. Okay. VP prisoners took 2 castles to hold hostage in the last days of the war. The German and Americans lived from the castles. They made it into the film. Yeah, there are VIP prisoners. Some are taken to very dark and I don't, just because of YouTube and algorithms, I don't want to start naming names, and I prefer you not to do it in chat either. Be careful on what you're posting there, just because algorithms. So they don't always take context important. But some of the darkest names, also had parts of because it was, and the one I'm thinking of starts with an A, is a big complex. And there's production facilities there, including Alaric Porcelain, a very high-end porcelain company that Himmler buys and transfers to the complex. And I don't know if it's using some sort of forced labor as part of its production, but they also have the artisans that are the high-end hired right type of Germans that are working there. So I don't know. But they're also producing SS uniforms and other, production facilities type stuff there with forced labor, and you can imagine other stuff. But there's other complexes that are going on as part of the overall complex, and some of that is high-end prisoners, and some of the high-end prisoners are psychics, or claim to be psychics, and they're really into psychics, but only the right type of psychics. And you can find all that out in another good book, Hitler's Monsters, that goes in. And some of these guys go into these prisoner of war camp or concentration camps and are sort of in special sections, shall we say, but very worried and knowing what's going on in these places too. They know what's with some of these things. And some of them after a while sort of get out to serve, there's a whole program that they put a lot of effort into with these psychics, and there's major effort and directing to where to send the U-boats. And you can imagine about how successful the program actually was. Yeah, not very, but it did exist. So they were trying to use psychics to find convoys. That was one of the projects that these guys were put on, if I remember correctly. So yes. Okay. And hello, Alternate History Hub. How you doing? Good to have you here. And hey, Beam Slam. Good to have you here as well. Well, the war in France, it's later than historical, but it's going rather well. Okay, check out Battle of Itter. It's the highest ranking German prisoner of war castle, SS men with orders to kill the prisoners in a unit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that stuff going on. Okay, you were saying take Dijon. Where's Dijon? It's in France, I know. Troyes. Oh, Dijon. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, I see here. Let's send 2 divisions that way. Let's send 2 divisions this way. And these other, again, I hate the way this works. Like the old one, and those 2 divisions go that way. But let's save this here. And I want to thank everyone watching this far into the video, because this has been fun, and I hope you have enjoyed me bathering. So come back next time for, yes, even more Hearts of Iron and Gamer talking about history and getting facts wrong, I'm sure, but hopefully it's fun. See you next time. Okay, guys, I think we're going to end it here today as well for the live stream. Voice is getting a bit tired and whatnot, and I just want to take a break. I will be back tomorrow with War Thunder, I believe. We were talking a little bit about Hell Let Loose, but I don't know if Eric or enough people who want to join up. I got to have some commitments from some people that they know that they're going to show up for me to decide, and I need that before it starts if we're going to do Hell Let Loose. So just warning, I don't know if Eric is still around or Toy Jet are still around or whatnot. They may have found something more interesting to do, but if I knew if a few people were going to be here for that, we might do that beforehand. But otherwise, it's just sort of, if you want to show up, you show up for War Thunder tomorrow, and it will be Friday, I believe, of next week. I will be playing Strategic Command. So instead of Mondays, I'm going to be doing Fridays for a couple of weeks. So over on Slithering TV, streaming for them over there. So I believe that's happening then. So if you want to catch me there, and of course next weekend. So thanks everyone. I know some of you guys just sort of got here a little bit, but remember to follow the channel. You can also, of course, if you're on Twitch, you can check out YouTube. There's links there too. So thanks everyone.